Going live. Why do you keep doing that? My iPad keeps turning off. I don't know why. But that's alright. It is what it is. So, let's see if we can get to the point where I can get TikTok chat pulled up now. Which is always the biggest challenge of this, I find. TikTok, you fucking suck. Let me multicam stream to TikTok already. TikTok chat, here, stream. If you want to see the full multicam stream here, head over to youtube.com/BambuLabs, where we're going to have a multicam stream running. Something is opening, guys. TikTok, come on. How's everybody doing? It's another Saturday, and I'm going to work on the Voron project. I hope to have my review and Carbon Max up, well, today actually, but simply didn't have it. Thank you, Ryan. Sorry about that, folks. I need to learn OBS. I'm sure there is a way to do it, but I don't know how to do it with OBS. That when you change scenes, it should change audio levels. Like, you know, on this scene, I never ever want the music that loud. So I need to be able to turn it down, like when I just change scenes. It doesn't make any sense. Like, it should just be an automatic thing, I would think, that the audio would dip between scenes, but I can't find a setting to do that. Let's try upping the microphone. How's this? Audio level test. Audio level test. Let's check it out. Hello, hello, hello. I feel like this microphone's not working properly. It's not. Hold on. Now it's going to be too loud. Hello, hello, hello. Testing my audio level. Testing my audio level. Testing my audio. Hey folks, Alamandic here, testing my audio levels. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, I wasn't actually using this microphone properly. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, I haven't had this messed up of a stream. It's because I broke down the entire stream setup, so I was filming the Anycubic Cobra Max video, and now I'm streaming, so is what it is. Okay, now let's see if I can actually get the TikTok live chat pulled up here. There it is, finally. TikTok live chat is up. I can see it. Yay. There's a way for me to fully see the chat, isn't there? Isn't there a way for me to, like, oh, it can only do it on the streaming phone. I hate that. There's a way on TikTok you can pull up the chat so it's the full screen, but you can only do it on the phone that's streaming, not on the one you're watching it from. Okay, yes. Anyway, back to what I was trying to say before my audio was all messed up. Or while it was all messed up. I wanted to have my Anycubic Cobra Max review up today. And I am streaming on YouTube right now. YouTube.com/MandicReally. I wanted to have the Cobra Max review up today, but filming it has just taken a lot more time than I thought it would, so I needed to get something going today, so we're going to work on the Voron project. My BambuLabs Carbon X1 Carbon, I forget which way you're supposed to say that. I got shipping notification on that, so I should have that machine Tuesday is when FedEx's tracking says I'm going to get it. Fingers crossed, FedEx is awful, so we'll see. But supposedly Tuesday I'm going to have that. I wanted to have the Voron built before it shows up. No way I'm going to have this thing built and running by Tuesday. But hey, that's whatever. Joseph Dylan J, hello, welcome. Alright folks, let's get into working on the Voron project now. Let me check all the camera angles real quick. There's our close-up shot. Here's our overhead shot. And we're ready to go. Cool. Are you excited for the Bambu Carbon? I am. I'm really excited to play with it. I haven't been this excited about a 3D printer in a while. Grant's Auto Essentials, hello. I haven't been this excited about a printer in a while. I'm really looking forward to what that X1's gonna do. I've been trying not to talk about it a ton because I don't want to give them free promotion for a machine I don't even have. But I'm really curious. I will probably do, like, maybe even Tuesday night we'll do a quick, like, stream unboxing it and do our first 17-minute benchy on it. We'll see. I might do that. Because if it shows up, I'm going to want to get printing with it right away, but I like to unbox printers on live, so yeah. Are you going to get the Elegoo Neptune 3? Nope. I am pretty much done buying printers. It's the only printer I see TikTokers using right now. Yeah, and that's... The Carbon X1 has the potential to be a complete game changer as far as printers are concerned. It's got a lot of things going for it, and I'm really interested in seeing how it goes. And all of my friends who are on TikTok, other print talk creators that I talk to on a regular basis, they love the thing. They do. So I'm really curious to try it for myself. Where was I going with that? Oh, the Neptune 3. I reached out to Elegoo about sending me a Neptune 3, and they basically said no. They didn't have any inventory to send me, and I'm not going to buy it. I'm just at a point where I need to get rid of printers, and unless it's something game-changing, something that really stands out, I can't be spending money on buying printers anymore. I've got enough to do the projects I need to do, and I've got a ton of projects on my slate. I can't justify it. I reached out to Elegoo. They said no about sending me one, and that's that. So I'm not going to get a Neptune 3 unless they change their minds. Thoughts on BigTreeTech printers? I've never used one. I have no input on them. Sorry. All right, let's get into this. So we are working on the Gantry today. I've got the frame assembled in previous streams, and I assembled the Z-axis motors and idler assemblies on last week's stream, and then I finished them off stream. I mostly finished them on stream. I did 3 out of 4, and I finished the 4th one off stream. So today we're going to work on the Gantry. So hopefully we'll get the mechanics of this thing done. Let's get the iPad share pulled up here. This is what we're working on today. The X and Y motor assemblies and belt idlers for the Core XY system, and hopefully we'll move on to the actual toolhead Gantry 2. I'm not sure how long this is going to take. We'll find out. But I already sorted through the parts I need for this, so let's get on to this. Yeah, here are the parts. So these are the parts we're going to be working with. These are the motor mounts here. These are I reprinted these for the round like R2 revision, the 2.4r2, but these are actually 2.4r1 revision parts. I hope that's not going to bite me, that I'm building these parts from an R1, because there's only one difference I found between the R1 and the R2. There's these 2 holes right here on the R1, and this is a single hole on the R2. I don't know what the difference is there, but it's just one single hole on... Here's the R2 versus the R1. It's the only difference I can find. But the print quality of the R2 parts that I printed, I'm not happy with. I used Polymaker ASA for these parts, the original R1 parts that I printed. And this is Inland, so Micro Center's house brand ASA. And the Polymaker just printed better. I used up a spool of Inland ASA. I don't recommend it. So... we're going to use these parts. All right. Moving forward here. Oh, would you fucking not? I don't know why my screen keeps locking on my iPad. It's set not to do that. All right, I'm gonna have to jump into settings real quick and make sure that doesn't happen anymore. So let's go back to the main shot real quick while I just jump in. I specifically set this months ago to not turn the screen off. I don't know why it's... oh, you know why? It's on battery saver mode. Nope. Battery saver off. That's probably why. Okay. Now we can get into assembling this stuff. So I've got to fire up the soldering iron. We got to install a couple of threaded inserts into these parts. Just trying to figure out which and where. There's a couple of recesses in these parts that look like... no. It's... which holes are supposed to be? Okay, so it's this one, that hole, and that hole. Weird. Are Voron printers custom printers? Yes. Voron printers are custom build printers. You don't buy a Voron. You can buy a kit, a pile of pieces, and build one yourself, but you have to build a Voron yourself. This is only a project for not the faint of heart. It is for a project for people who are pretty confident in what they're doing about fully custom building a 3D printer. So, differences between this and like a Prusa. Well, the Prusa is a commercial product, so there's that. And then there's also, this is intended for fast, reliable printing, which it's only reliable if you build it reliable. So there's a whole argument there. But you really need, I do not recommend Voron projects for pretty much anybody who is not, if you don't, okay, here's the way I generally say it. When it comes to building a Voron, if you have to ask whether you should build a Voron or whether it's right for you to build a Voron, it's not right for you to build a Voron. It's that whole, like, if you have to ask, you can't afford it kind of thing. It's, if you have to ask, the project isn't for you. All right, these little accent pieces are my belt tensioners. And they also need heat inserts. I really need to build a filtration system in here. The folks at Weller, like Weller soldering irons, or yeah, Weller soldering, were supposed to send me one, and they haven't. I gotta bug them about that next week. They said a while ago they were gonna send me a filtration system, and they haven't gotten around it. Do anything fun for my birthday, Nick? Thank you for asking. We went and saw Thor, Love and Thunder for my birthday. We went and saw Thor. And we, what else did we do? I forget. Oh, we went up to New York. We went up to Brooklyn and we saw a show. It's called Kaiju Big Battle. So it's basically like professional wrestling, like amateur wrestling, with, they dress in like kaiju suits. So like, you know how they actually filmed Godzilla back in the day? It was just a guy in a suit with miniatures. It's the same kind of concept. People dress up in suits like that and then wrestle. It's so dumb. It's so stupid and fun. I saw it forever ago here in Philadelphia and I wanted to see it again. And it happened to be right around my birthday. So we said, screw it. Let's go up to New York and see it. And it was even dumber than I remember it being. But it was fun. It was a fun day. So I have a video for TikTok I need to post about that. Maybe I'll post that today. I just don't like to post things like while they're happening at events like that because I don't want people tracking me down. Hello, hello, hello. Folks on TikTok, if you want a better view of what is going on, there is a live stream with multicam setup on YouTube. YouTube.com/Mandic. No. Yes. YouTube.com/Mandic, really. Okay, I've got these handful of parts with the first heat inserts installed. Now we need these bearing block assemblies. Which one are we assembling first? I guess it probably doesn't really matter. They both have to get assembled. Where's my second one? Ah, here's my second one. These were printed in that ASA as well, and they turned out like shit. Let me look real quick. I want to compare these to the old ones. See, they revised the Voron 2.4 project since I started building it. They revised it from revision 1 to revision 2 since I started building this. And in doing so, they changed some things. But they did a really bad job of labeling what they changed. They really should, when they... If anybody from the Voron project sees this, I understand you put out a changelog. That's not very useful. What you should really do is like an update guide. Going from R1 to R2, you need to change this, this, and this. And they don't. So like I printed all the R1 parts, but I don't know what parts cross over from an R1 to an R2. And the changelog doesn't break it down that well. All right, we're going with these parts I just printed. I don't see the other ones. I am going with the Stealthburner. Somebody asked in the TikTok chat. I'm going with the Stealthburner. I printed the Stealthburner shroud in... Someone made an update sheet. All right, that's good to know. I didn't find it when I was trying to find them. I printed the Stealthburner shroud on the Ender 3 with the Mosaic Palette 3. And I'm not really happy with the print results off of it. It got a little overheated at the base layer, but it turned out pretty good. I like the multicolor. See if we... Yeah. So it's got my purple and my teal accents in there. I like that. And so when the X1 Carbon shows up at this rate, sounds like the X1's going to show up before I get to assembling the Stealthburner. So I'll probably end up reprinting those. Okay. This part we need... Alright, I need hardware. First things first, I need an M5x40. Mark, if you find that, I would appreciate it. I went through the changelog on GitHub and used that as a bit of a guide to figure out what I needed to reprint, but it also, it was not very clear. So I got irritated and kind of just kept moving along. All right, this goes through here. Oh, okay. Weird. Use bolts to assign, or use this bolt to assemble. Weird. Okay. Where do I buy the non-3D printed parts for a Voron? Printed Solid's a great source. They're generally pretty sold out. Printed Solid, Fabrico. Honestly, just look at the sourcing guide from the Voron team should have a good breakdown for you as to where you should look. All right. Pull out some pulleys here. Shaft. I don't know if I need that shaft or not. So I need a couple of M5 shims and a couple of these bearings. M5 shims. I just cleaned up the hardware and I thought I did a better job of sorting it, but it doesn't look like I did. This is the problem with, I need like multiple build stations out here. Shims. I need like multiple build stations where I can go from like one to another. Cypher, my Cobra Max review is coming. I'm like halfway through it. I wanted to have it up today, but the review, it was just, I ran out of time. I wasn't going to have it up by noon today, and if I didn't have it up by noon today, kits tend to make things cheaper overall, though. Just don't buy crappy kit. Yeah. I would say go to like Printed Solid or maybe Fabrico. I think they both have LDO motors kits. That's probably a good way to go. I would definitely recommend buying a kit for most people. I self-sourced and it absolutely cost me more money. So Mark is completely correct in that. But anyway, Cobra Max review is coming. I ran out of time to get it up today. And if it's not up by like noon on Saturday, I might as well just not post it. Is pretty much what ends up happening. I just don't get views after that. So, okay. So I got my little shim stack here. Shim and pulley stack is in. Assemble this a little bit. Guide this together. There's a little clip together section that's a good tight fit in this, but it's together. Okay, cool. First one of those is together. Oh, okay. So now I'm supposed to remove that screw I have in there holding those right now. and install one of these idlers over top of it as a... Yeah, okay. So I got to remove that screw and install this over top. What am I going to do about the build plate on the Cobra Max? 1 second, I got to be careful about this hardware here. I am going to... Let me try and turn it so you can see. I reached out to Wham Bam. Wham Bam has a flex plate that they say may fit the Cobra Max. They're not sure. So I reached out to them and I said, hey, I've got a Cobra Max that's got a bad bed. So would you mind will you send me that bed you think might fit? And this is dumb. This is a dumb way of doing this. It's not going to work well. Let me carefully slide this over top of this. Oh, this is the wrong side. So anyway, I asked them, you know, would you send that to me? I can confirm it works so you can have a good answer. And I wanted to, I'll let you all in. And would I say the Anycubic Cobra Max is a good beginner printer? No. No, yeah, see, these all just fell out. No, I wouldn't. It is not a bad beginner printer, but I would really recommend going with something like the Anycubic Viper over the Cobra Max, because bigger the printer, the bigger the learning curve, the bigger the failures, the bigger everything is. I do not recommend a big printer for a beginner printer. That's just all it comes down to. Okay, let me see if I can get this freaking screw in here. That's all it comes down to, is I just can't recommend a big printer for a beginner printer. Go with something like the Viper. The Viper is basically the same machine, but smaller. The Cobra Max is not a Cobra Max. It's a Viper Max, is realistically what it is. So, this little stack is like as annoying as... This feels like I'm putting the V0 together again. Yes, Cypher. Self-sourcing, you do get to pick better parts overall. That's why I self-sourced, because I was able to pick exactly the parts that I wanted for my build versus just what came in the kit. So there is that obvious positive to self-sourcing. Come on. I gotta get this pair of pliers. But yeah. Anyway, after the Cobra Max review is done, I plan to build... I'll probably name the video... something like... Ultimate Cobra Max build or something like that. I'm going to end up... I'll let you all... The folks who are here in stream, I'll give you a heads up. A preview, I guess. I'm going to be converting the Cobra Max to direct drive and changing out the main board for a BigTreeTech board, probably running Clipper on it. Ugh, getting this stack to go together is so annoying. It's a freaking puzzle. It's not a tight enough fit to stack these in here on their own. Okay. This is annoying. I need to get this last shim washer in here. Come on. Come on. There we go. Yay! Got it. Anyway, yes, I'm going to be converting the Cobra Max to direct drive. I'm going to be completely rewiring it and just do it over the way that I feel it should have been from the factory. It's not a bad machine the way that it is. It's just not the way that I would have built a machine like that. And that's all it comes down to. Why? All right. I'm just looking at it here. It feels like I should just put the nut in this side already, but it's not telling me to. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that. M5 nut. But yeah, so I'm going to be converting to direct drive and making some other changes anyway. So I asked Wham Bam if they wanted to be part of that video. Like, hey, send me one of your beds and part of the ultimate Anycubic Cobra Max video. These two are completely stuck together. Let me see. They're totally stuck together. These are black coated stainless hardware, so apparently those two were coated together. Anyway, yeah, I asked Wham Bam if they wanted to supply one of their beds to be part of that, and they haven't responded yet, so I don't know. So if they don't respond to me, I'll probably just AliExpress myself, find a bed that might be close or work, or one that I can cut down to work. And I'm definitely going to a PEI flex bed. I'm a little worried. I feel like part of the reason that the glass bed is used on the Cobra Max is because the bed is so thin. The actual metal bed, the aluminum bed, I want to say is 3 millimeters, which for that sizable of a bed is just not that big. So I feel like part of the reason they use glass is to provide more support to the bed, to be a stiffer bed, so they could cheap out on the aluminum. So yeah. I will cover all of this in my review soon. It'll be up. I haven't decided if I'm going to wait till next Saturday to post it or put it out sooner. I want to put it out sooner, but if I put it out next Saturday, it'll probably get more views. So, and since that is my job, I kind of need to do that. I pushed my E3D V6 review. I mean, I'd love a thicker bed. The problem is I would want a MIC6 bed, a ground bed, if I'm going to go with a thicker one. That's the proper way to do it. And I don't know anybody. I mean, granted, I could reach out to some folks about getting a custom one made. Building a Voron live. Yes, multitasking indeed. Full stream, if you want to see more detail, is on YouTube. Yeah, there we go. All right, there's our little tensioner assembly, our first one together. It was a pain in the butt, but let's get a closer view of it. There it is. So there's an idler in there that the belt will wrap around, and then there's the tensioner. The purple piece is the tensioner and a screw to tension it. So, but yeah, if you reach out to me, we can talk about how about CNC machined? Is that not flat enough? Grinding is generally a better way to achieve a flat bed, and out of cast material is also the better way. So, check your work. That looks like the part that I made here, so. Yep, all that looks correct to me. Cool. Now, second verse, same as the frickin' first. Alright. You folks don't need the instructions at this point. Let's switch back to the main screen. Alright, time to assemble the second one. Same thing. I would want it to be cast aluminum, first of all, because that's better temperature sustainability. It's stable, temperature stable. And a fire lid for the barrel. I honestly forgot about that. I've been meaning to do a fire lid forever for the barrel. I've got to get back to barrel lids. I kind of don't want to get back to barrel lids, but they're popular, so. Alright, screw. Now let's do this. No, you go in your home. You are freaking annoying. You're going in your home. Now, you know what? I'm putting this thing in here already. And I'm going the same way I just did the other one. I ended up doing this anyway. Playing freaking puzzle. It's like a doctor's office puzzle in here. Anyway, a CNC machined one probably is good enough. For that project anyway. It's going to end up with auto bed leveling. It's going to have mesh leveling on it. That big of a bed you need auto leveling. And you need a mesh level system. So, you know, it can compensate for a lot. That will be a thing. Yeah, this is definitely a better method. Just grabbing these freaking pieces with pliers and sticking them in here as I need them is working better. I say that as I just lost the 2 pieces I put together. So anyway, yes, I would be happy to talk about making a new bed for it. You know, that would definitely help the ultimate nature of the build. 2-inch 6061 scrap available. Holy crap. That's overkill. 6061 is not especially temperature stable, from my recollection, but it's been a while since I've been studying metallurgy. So maybe I'm misremembering. Generally, cast handles temperature better. That's why, like, the Voron beds and the MIC6 beds are temperature stable, are more stable with temperature as far as, like, expansion and contraction is concerned, because they are cast, so there's less stresses internally versus a rolled piece. Get in there. But it's probably worth trying. I know companies like, I'm pretty sure... What's the company? Well, yeah, definitely too thick. Definitely too thick. That would require a massive heater just to get it to temperature. And a lot of wattage. What was it I was going to say? Get in there. You can do it. Oh, I can come down through the top with a hex wrench and line it up. Yeah. Boom. There we go. I forget what I was gonna say. Yeah, I doubt you get a lot of scrap cast. I would believe that. I can come up with the raw material. Actually, realistically, I can make my own bed. I can get pre-ground MIC6. And all I have to do then is lay out the bolt pattern for the bed, drill and countersink the holes. I don't have a CNC at my disposal, but I got a drill press and the ability to accurately lay out things, you know, some layout fluid and scribe my lines, and I can do it. So realistically, I can make my own, and maybe that'll make for a more interesting video. Yeah, McMaster-Carr does sell it. I know they do. The hard part is the size of it. I would probably eBay it or something, because a 17-inch by 17-inch piece of that stuff from McMaster is going to be expensive. But that would make for a more interesting video, probably. A like, legit build my own. The barrel is not dead. The barrel project is just... I got bored with it, honestly. It really got old for me. And I just wasn't having fun making the videos. And if I'm not having fun making the videos, I can't put the energy into them. I've had so many other projects going on. More important wow, that feels really fucking long. Is that right? M5 by 40. M4 by... Oh, okay. Okay. Let me push this all the way to the side here. 18 by 18, they want $400. Yeah. That's... I mean, I'm not saying that's ridiculous. It's a big chunk of metal, but... it doesn't need to be 1 inch. Most of my beds are like 3/8, 5/16. That would do it, but I'll look into it. I have looked into making my own before, because it wasn't that long ago that people weren't making them for Ender 3s. They only recently started being made for Ender 3s, thankfully, and I have one somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, I have this one from Precise Printer Parts for an Ender 3, so you can see how it's ground on like a big Blanchard grind, like a big grind. And this is only, I think, 3/8. I think this is 3/8. No, it's 5/16. This is 5/16, so. Probably end up putting that on my my main Yeah, a Blanchard grind, like, I wouldn't expect you to have that. That's some specialty stuff. You need a grinding shop for that. The "it's wet in here" sound got one weird use. Oh, 178 for 3/8. That's not that bad, actually. That's better than I thought. I might have to look at that. Because when you're talking that big of a chunk, like, Precise Printer Parts makes a MIC6 bed, ground bed like that for the Ender 5 Plus, which I'd like to put one on my Ender 5 Plus that I have, because the bed on that is not flat. Theirs is... it's somewhere over $100. I mean, it's a big chunk of aluminum, 350 by 350, so... Okay, we got our 2 tensioners assembled. Boom. There's those. Now we are moving on. Found the spreadsheet, sent it my way. Thank you very much. You sent it on Discord. Printer do I recommend for beginners? My general answer is the Ender 3. It is not the most beginner-friendly machine on the market. I am fully aware of that. But overall, there's great support for it online. You can really find just about any answer you need as to what's going on with the machine. Thank you, Mark. It's generally just my go-to answer. There are better options for more user-friendliness, but then you run into parts problems, like if something breaks, getting replacement parts. Like the Anycubic Viper is more user-friendly, but replacement parts, features... Actually, the Ender 3 has various features that doesn't, so it's like... Awesome. Ryan, thank you. I will get with you on that. I gotta look at it. Is the Discord for patrons only? No, we private message on Discord. Mark and I are friends, so thank you. I don't run a Discord even for my patrons or anything because I just don't have the time. Like, I would feel bad about not being able to be in there chatting with people on a regular basis, and I just don't have the time for it, so... Okay, moving on to these. Alright, this piece already has a couple of inserts in it. I need 2 M5 by 30s in this. You folks can get the instructions back here. Boop. Don't want to take yours apart to lay out till it breaks. Understandable. I mean, once I get through the review of the Cobra Max, I don't care how long it takes me to get it torn down and built back up to what I want it to be. I have too many projects anyway. I can't really, like, spend a ton of time on it, so... Okay. Get these 2 screws in this. And on top of those, we get bearing stacks. All right. Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to be the trailblazer to, you know, put out some GitHub design DXFs and stuff so people could make their own beds or whatever. So I'd be happy to do that once I get through the review. So we'll get there. Okay. So each of these gets a 2 bearing stack. And shims, the second one gets 2. Second one gets 2, one of them gets 1. There's no multicam. You got to head over to YouTube, youtube.com/HotRodHippie. Or no, I'm sorry, that's my other YouTube channel. youtube.com/MandicReally. That's where the multicam stream is at. Sorry, folks. Can't do multicam on... Cobra Max should be here Monday. Awesome. Hope it works out well for you. A friend is struggling with supports on a resin printer. Supports are hard. Not getting scarring with... I'm not that great with resin printing. It's really not my specialty by any means. I actually just got my new resin printer in today. I'll be making more content about that soon. The Elegoo Jupiter, my biggest resin printer. It actually came in today. Actually, it came in yesterday, but I got it today. So... All right. Oh, that's... I don't love that, Voron team. These M5s thread into plastic. All the places they used frickin' all the places they use nice threaded inserts, they thread these into plastic. And they are not starting well. Whew, that is not happy. Ugh. That's not threading in nicely. Voron team, what are you doing? Could I drill it out and put a heat insert in? Yes, but I don't know that I have any heat inserts big enough for this. I have it. No, I'm sorry, that's not true. Small enough. I have M5 heat inserts, but I think they're all thicker. They're all taller. That's probably what happened here. Is they got to this point and they would have had to, for an M5 heat insert, would have just been too tall. I bet that's the problem here. So, is what it is, I guess. Alright, so that's our first one of these together. Now it's time for a motor assembly on this. One of our X or Y motors. I mean, they're X and Y motors. Why does this look small? Did I put the wrong motor somewhere? Oh. No, these are right. Pin mod kind of solves that. Wish I'd looked into that more before I started this. But like I said, I wanted to build this kind of stock. Anybody on TikTok? Fredo says, anybody on TikTok should come to YouTube. It's better quality and better image. Thank you. Here's our X and Y motors. Now, I got to put pulley on this. This needs a pulley there. One of these pulleys. All right, and my handy little motor orientation tool here, along with some thread locker. Yeah, I see it would have to be a complete reprint, so I will stick with what I got here. I'll just complain about it. If I build another 2.4, I'll know. I probably won't build another 2.4. I think if I do something else, I'll probably build a Trident. Have one of each, you know? I'd like to build a switch wire, but I really don't care in the same regard. Building a switch wire would simply be for the fun of it. You know, why do I want an inherently flawed design in a bed slinger, you know? Whoop! Hit the button twice. It's got to be a full-time job keeping all those printers going. You are not wrong. You are not wrong. All right, so this one goes with the pulley up and with the A setting here. Boom. So basically to the end of a shaft. Basically to the end of a shaft. Okay. Come on. There we go. All right. Tighten these. Double check where we're at. How's everybody's Saturday going? Anybody have any other fun projects going this weekend? All right, I'll show you what this motor guide here. It basically just sticks through the pulley there, so you can see when it's at the right height. Pretty freaking easy. Love this. I wish they would have done this for the V0. So would have made my life easier on the V0 project. All right, I can tighten these. All right, now we get to install this motor into this Voron is not a bigger, newer V0. No, it's just a totally different animal. They're siblings. You can definitely see the same design language between the two, but they're not the same. You and I are not the same. All right. This goes on here with the motor wiring facing this way. Cookie CAD Unicorn 200% dyno. That's got to look sick. That's got to look sick. Ugh. I love this dyno design. Like, this is so silly fun. Yeah, silly fun there. Eh. You can hang out on the bench with me. All right. 3 M3 by 30s. I don't think I have those out right now. Where's my cap? Put the cap back on you. M3 by 30s. I mean, the instructions make this so freaking easy. A little confusing at times, but M3 by 20. 25. 4. 30. Yes, what Mark said. The Voron V0 uses a moving bed where the bed travels up and down, and this one, the Gantry, so the print head travels up and down, and the bed stays completely in place. So yeah, I'm gonna put a little thread locker on these just cause. Not gonna hurt. Where can we buy some of your products? On my old website. My link on my bio on TikTok right now points to my new website, unfortunately. I gotta correct that for the moment. I love my new website, but my store is not on there yet. And neither is my resellers list. So hotrodhippie.com is my old website. Head there, and I have a shop on there if you want to buy some stuff from me. Or you can email me if you're interested in something like the dyno here. I can do those. Email me, we can see about that. All right. Check your work. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, my motor pulley looks like it's well lined up with this belt idler here, so that's what we're headed for. That is what we wanted. How do I install and program a G-Tech board installing a longer LK5 Pro? I cannot say. I've never used a G-Tech board, but I hope they provide instructions. I use BigTreeTech because they have great they have great information so you can source and set up your own stuff. There's actually been a bit of a blow up on the BigTreeTech Facebook group lately of people complaining, being like, there's no clear-cut instructions on how to do this, this, and this. Because changing boards in a machine is a very, very DIY project. You really need to know what you're doing when it comes to wiring, to firmware configuration. You really cannot rely on the information that others are providing for you. You gotta have a pretty good concept of what's going on. Because you're really gonna have to interpret your own information a lot of the way through the process. Okay. How did the Cobra Max review go? It's not done yet. I was filming it before this, and I just didn't have time to finish it, so that's why I'm streaming this instead. M5 by 30s, 2 of these. Yeah, so it's like halfway. I'm like 50% of the way through the review, and it was just no chance I was going to have it done for today, so... Do you change nozzles before really big prints? Only, I'm not 100% what you mean. That doesn't seem right. Oh, yeah, I put it in the wrong hole. I put it in the wrong hole. It's supposed to be that one. I do change nozzles to larger sizes, but I generally don't change nozzle sizes just before a big print. Are you saying like as a precautionary thing? Like, oh, better change the nozzle before I start to be safe. I don't do that. Rarely. I usually don't change a nozzle till it shows signs of wearing out. Alright. Pair of these. One of these. Alright, I'm getting the hang of this. I'll get the hang of this just in time to be done it. And one more shim. To avoid clogs. Yeah, no, I don't do that. Nope, I don't do that. Help if I put this on the right direction. Okay. Oh, don't lose. I lost a shim. Damn it. I dropped all kinds of parts. It's my V0 build all over again. What CAD program do I recommend for... Well, it's not going to be printer specific. I recommend Fusion 360 is what I use to design stuff. Autodesk Fusion 360. It's free for hobbyists and it's pretty advanced stuff, but honestly, cheap, like Tinkercad or whatever, like you're gonna... God damn it. You're gonna run into a limitation sooner or later. You might as well learn the higher end stuff off the bat, in my opinion. Okay, let's support these now. There we go. Alright, we'll get these started in here with this, and I'll hand tighten them after that. It's what you use at work. Yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to for me, is I understand that Fusion 360 is an uphill battle to learn, in terms of, like, there are other programs that are easier to learn, but I have been doing this for a while, and I haven't maxed out the capability of Fusion 360 yet. There's stuff that I don't like the way it does it, but it's still good software. I haven't outgrown it yet. So that's where I'm just like, why use Tinkercad or one of these things that you're going to outgrow? Why not just learn the thing you're not going to outgrow? Okay, next motor. This one, the pulley goes the other way. Let's get some thread locker on these grub screws. I really need... There's so many thread locker and like stains on this workbench. I really need to get around to sanding and finishing this bench. I intended to from day one and just never did. Yeah, they have a lot of great classes and information on like their own YouTube channel, and there's a lot going on. They have free tutorial stuff and like guides. Okay, the next one of these I need B. The B guy. B. The B. There it is. I'm focusing, so it's time for the tongue to stick out. All right. All right. If you do, how do you remove almost all the supports from a print? I dial in my support settings so they come off easily. Generally, if they're really troublesome, I'll use a pair of the flush cuts and pick them off there carefully. That's pretty much it. Cut them a little bit if I have to. All right, double check that my motor is pulley is where I want it. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, you've got a dinosaur here. So the dinosaur is showing you our motor. Yeah. All right, now this can go on here. Motor orientation pointing this way again. And now a couple more of these M3x30s, right? Yeah. Any thoughts on Open SCAD? Never tried it. Or, actually, you know what? I have tried that. I tried that a long time ago. A long time ago. And I fumbled my way through it back then, and it pretty much did the job for me. But that was before I really knew what I was doing. So, I haven't tried it in recent history. Again, Fusion 360 does everything I need. I don't have any reason to try anything else, is pretty much what it comes down to. It's free for hobbyists, so I can happily recommend it to my audience, that I don't feel bad that I'm recommending like $2,000 software. And it's powerful, so I just don't see any reason for me to try anything else. Thoughts on the Mosaic palette? I hate it. You see mine right there behind me. I hate that thing. Hate it, hate it, hate it. As soon as my X1 Carbon comes in and we get through testing the X1 Carbon and comparing it to that thing, the palette is going away. It's gonna find a new home. It ain't here. It is expensive beta software and beta hardware, in my opinion. But it feels like there are so many things that they just didn't put enough time into figuring out and dialing in. It's very, very wasteful. It's very loud. It just annoys me. It's the loudest piece of equipment that I have in here if it isn't metalworking equipment. Of 3D printer stuff, it's my loudest piece of 3D printing equipment. All right. We now have our 2 idlers. And 2 idlers are on here, and our 2 motor assemblies are together. Really hoping the Anycubic Cobra Max is good. I'll give you the TLDR of my review. Please watch the review when it does go up, please, please. I'm putting a lot of work into it. The Anycubic Cobra Max is going to be my recommendation for a large printer. It is my go-to recommendation for a large printer currently. So it is clearly good enough that I'm going to recommend it if somebody wants a big build volume printer. That said, it has flaws that I think are pretty major. A couple of flaws that really stand out. Most people won't be nearly as bothered by them as I am. So for most folks, it's not going to be that big a deal. And I'll discuss this more in the review. I really think it should have been direct drive. I don't think it should be a Buiding system. This big of a machine should be direct drive. It just should. And the firmware has serious flaws that they are just not fixing, and they are breaking open source licensing by not releasing the source code. I specifically requested it, and I'm pretty angry at them that they haven't released it. Yeah, because they are required by law to do so, and they just don't care. So, I'm gonna watch the review probably while building mine. Cool. But that said, I like the Cobra Max, and I'm going to continue to use it, but I'm going to convert mine to direct drive, and I'm going to change it to what I want it to be. But out of the box, I still think it's a really good value for what you get with that machine, if that makes sense. Okay, where are we at next? Speaking of waste, have you tried any recycling systems? I have not. The whole process of going through recycling setups just never seems appealing to me. I'm just not seeing good enough results or any of that from recycle setups that I'm interested in using them personally. Okay, moving on to straight up gantry stuff. We've got this little... What happened here? Can you folks... OBS is like flipped out for some reason. Oh, okay. I see why. But yeah, so... Yeah, I've seen stuff that I'm really impressed by. I've seen stuff that I'm really impressed by with the X1 Carbon. Mark is in here. Mark just got his X1 Carbon, and he's a Voron user as well, so he has a pretty good basis for what a decent printer is, and I trust that opinion, and he's been liking it, so I'm really looking forward to getting mine. I should have it this week, as long as the FedEx doesn't screw me over, which it's FedEx, so they might. As long as FedEx doesn't screw up, I'll have my X1 this week. Okay. Couple more heat inserts to go. I'm gonna get the dinosaur out of the way, so I can switch to this camera angle. Getting some of my cable chain. This is a cable chain anchor piece for the wires. Got to put a couple of heat inserts in it. And one more. But yeah, Mark, doing heat inserts, like, boop, came right out, no problem. The regular, proper, like, heat insert tip is awesome. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. Alright, I need the shortest of my extrusions. Yeah, I'm definitely probably almost immediately gonna start doing multicolor prints with it, because I really want to compare it to the... I'm obviously not ready to compare it to my Voron because it's not built. My 2.4, that is. But the... Alright, M5 T-nuts. But multicolor printing, I can definitely compare it to the palette, so I'm gonna start multicolor printing like right away. There we go, M5 T-nuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Put these in here. Ah. Well, that one didn't fit as tight. In you go. I'm gonna get these motor brackets onto this piece. All right. All right. So, I line these up beforehand. I like to do is hold up these next to where my little nut inserts are, so I can use it to help guide where I need these to be. That looks pretty good there. All right. Am I doing that wrong? I think I am. No, I'm not. That is the way it needs to be. Bloop. All right, together you go. Now I need, what? M5 by 10s. 512. I had 510s out, so they're probably toward the back. 540. 516. 210. 512. Where are my 5 by 10s? 5 by 10s. Boom. All right. Little thread locker on each of these. I'm not messing around. We're not messing around here. That's the wrong size. Still the wrong size. What size is that? 2.5. I need a 3. I don't know where my 3 is right now. My 3 went missing for some reason. Okay. M3 bit for my electric screwdriver, that is. Come on. Want to leave these loose till you get it adjusted. Thank you. Shall do. Thank you, Bearded Bucket. Why does that not want to thread in there? There we go. Okay, so I'll be probably adjusting these when I mount this all to the Z rails, right? I would imagine. Okay, first side done, second side, same as the first. Alright. You line you up next to here so I can adjust my nuts into position. Okay. And slip together. Alright. Ender 7. I have not used an Ender 7. I have no experience with it. Seems like it's trying to be a machine like this, basically. I've heard some pretty negative things from people I trust, though. So, yeah. Just, there's some weird design choices on the Ender 7 that I've seen that are, like, not a very well-supported bed. The bar, the Joel telling bar in the middle of the freaking viewing area drives me nuts. I hate that. But, you know, seems like it's got a lot going for it otherwise. And especially I've seen it on sale at plenty of places because it hasn't been exceptionally popular. So that's good. Fredo, thank you for being here. Thanks for interacting. Have yourself a good one. All right, there's our beginning of our back section of the gantry together. Now we need to put rails on these side pieces. We're going to put good evening, welcome. Okay. M3 nuts. Yeah, okay. M3 T-nuts, roll-ins, and my MGN9 rails. How many do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 per side. Is there a specific orientation to that? No, there is not. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's a smaller one. What's up, Philly friend? Hello, welcome. Grizz, welcome to the stream. Head over to YouTube, check out the better quality stream. Everybody on TikTok, if you're not already, you can head to youtube.com/MandicReally to catch the multi-camera stream. See the instructions, see the build in a little better detail. A little better detail. 4K anyway. Well, it's only streaming at 1080p, but it's 4K out of the cameras. So. All right. I got my Rayleigh rails over here. Come on out of there. Do it now. Okay. Let me look at these instructions a little better. Yeah, I know I need the guides. I just want to get these kind of lined up first. I'll flip this one around. There we go. All right, I'm trying to line up these insert nuts here with the bolt holes in the rails. How many am I skipping per freaking thing? No way 8's enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Did I miscount? Xander, hello, welcome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, they're only showing 8. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It seems like I should have at least 9. You know what? It's probably the fact that there's only a picture for... They show a generic amount since it's different build sizes. That's exactly what I was about to say. It's because they're showing it for like a 300 or for a 250, not a 300 or specific. So I need 9 for this. I need 9. Thank you for confirming what I was thinking. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright. Now, I need... What size are these supposed to be? M3 by 8. 3 by 6. 3 by 12. Uh, 16. 8. And 3 by 8s. Alright, just want to get these started in here. And I'll come back with the locating clips. Square Z Creations. What do you do with Square Z Creations? All right, get these in here, bit by bit. Sublimation on everything, cool. I don't know if I know anybody who does that, so good to know. I got just about every other thing going on in this city, but I don't know about that. New Voron, let's go! Welcome, Lyra! I saw, how's the resin lapse going? Did you finish it up? Saw you tag me in that this morning. Do I prefer do I prefer matte or silk filaments? Matte. I prefer matte. Personally. Nice color choices. Thank you. I started with red originally, but my brand colors are teal and purple. Use my video to make one. Glad to hear it's working for you. Looking to build a switch wire. You know, I kind of want to build a switch wire. It kind of seems almost pointless. Like, not really the highest whatever. It's not worth it. Yeah, there you go. Like, you know, it kind of defeats... Having a bed slinger kind of defeats the purpose of some of it. But I I would only build a switch wire just for the hell of building a switch wire. You know? Baby steps. Okay, so like upgrade an Ender 3 to a switch wire or whatever. That's kind of understandable. I get my little locator things on here. Help me guide where this rail's supposed to be. And then I'm supposed to be 25 millimeters from the end. Where are my calipers? Here they are. Had to remove the resistor. All right. Hey, whatever you had to do. I honestly, the resistor in that design, I don't even know that the resistor needs to be there. It's just on the diagrams that I was able to find about making a trigger cable, so I included it. I don't know that it needs to be there. So, if you had to remove it, no big deal. In 4 years, where do you think 3D printing will still be? User-friendly. More user-friendly is where I see it being. More something like the X-1 Carbon. I think it's really going to introduce a lot of features that people are going to get used to. Speed and reliability. Well, I don't know about reliability yet. It's going to offer a whole new realm of like user-friendly printing. But I'm really curious where that sends us. Do I see myself still printing in 4 years? I have no idea. I see myself still making content, so I would assume. I want to move into making like more maker stuff where I'm just making projects and using printing to make projects. So maybe more of that. I really don't know. I don't see myself stopping printing. I can't see why I would. All right. Woo! First rail together. Second verse, same as the first. Where'd I put my roll-in nuts? M3 roll-ins, where'd they go? Ah, nope, that's M5s. Oh, they're right in front of me. Meeting got canceled. Welcome back. Yeah, honestly, like Mark just said, I was interested in the concept of a switch wire, but it just doesn't make sense to me. I'm going to go with a Trident if I build another one. But I don't know. If I do another machine, I'll probably step away from Voron and go with like a rat rig or something. I don't know. Or design something myself. That's probably asking a lot at this time. Time investment, if nothing else. What kind of projects do you want to do? Just whatever the hell I feel like. Nerdy stuff. Cosplay stuff. Furniture. Things around the house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more. We've got a whole list of projects for me to build around the house with like nerdy flair to them. That we're going to get to at some point. So, I don't know if anybody ever watches like a Nerd Forge on YouTube. They make like dioramas and art, like paintings. I really like their stuff. I'm not a painter, so like, something just dropped a hex wrench. Making sure I didn't drop bearings. So I'd like to go that direction, like just making things. I really enjoy their content. So, do you have a girlfriend or wife? I have a fiance. So, yes. Both-ish. .3D printed PC case. I really want to do that. The only problem I have right now with 3D printed PC case, the only problem I have right now is I almost wonder if I shouldn't wait for like the next generation Threadripper or something. Because part of like when you build a custom like thing like that is using the latest hardware draws more attention. So I almost wonder if I shouldn't wait until like the next Threadripper comes out. Like I almost feel like people are going to look at my PC and be like, well, it's not the latest stuff, even though it's a 3080 and a freaking 5950X, but she doesn't really like to be in videos much. She's self-conscious. She was in a video I posted a couple days ago when we went to New York. I'm trying to get her into videos more. She usually gives me shit for trying to get her in videos. Come on. Line up. Designed and printed a lot of parts for your PC desk. Awesome. I saw somebody on Twitter do a poll about like what their next 3D printing project should be, and the #1 request was a 3D printed computer case, so I really need to get on it. I honestly, part of the reason I haven't done it is I wanted this Voron done for it so I could use it to print some of the parts, because I'm probably going to print a lot of the parts in ASA, so it'll hold up to temperatures really well and not heat creep. Because I've used PETG on my custom water cooling parts before, and it works, but it heat creeps over time. It starts to sag eventually. So I want to do ASA, and I can't reliably print ASA with my current setups. Not well enough for a project that big. Yeah, overkill stuff definitely gets the most attention. It's just the way it is. I mean, granted, my setup is pretty overkill compared to most people's as it is. Like, I've got an RTX 3080, and I've got a AMD 5950X 16-core processor. Like, it's no joke. But it's just not the latest. You know, there's 12th gen Intel now, and Ryzen 5000 or whatever is right around, or the Threadrippers are right around the corner. And I would like to go to a Threadripper. I could really use the extra PCIe lanes. I've been kind of limited on storage and other options with my current setup. So, like, I have reason to do it, but deciding on the money. Online courses for Fusion. Thoughts about teaching. My partner really wants me to do that, and it's not a bad idea. I've thought about how best to do it. I want to do YouTube videos on it, but I just don't have the time to produce the amount of videos I need to be producing as it is. How's the new nozzle working, the hot end working on the Ender 3? I freaking love it. The Revo that I reviewed on YouTube recently, if you haven't seen it yet, go check out my E3D Revo CR review on youtube.com/MandicReally. I love it. I really love it. I still got a little tuning to get it perfect. It, like, getting temperatures dialed in and whatever has been a little challenging. But I really like it. I've been really happy with it. All right, put these little clippy clips on here. Keep this centered. Plug and play? Absolutely. The worst thing about it, if you watch the review, I showed the connector on the thermistor is not perfect. It's not the right JST XH connector. It works and it will plug in, but I repinned it to a JST XH to make it work properly. And I complained to E3D, said, hey, you should really replace that. They send splice connectors so you can splice into the original one to get around that. I don't love that. Other than that, plug and play. No firmware changes required. It uses the proper thermistor for the factory firmware on an Ender 3. Plugs right into the temp connector. I did a PID auto tune to get the temperatures dialed in perfect, but other than that, that's it. And yeah, I've been really happy with it. So the nozzles are expensive. That's the worst thing about the Revo system. And they don't have the hardened one yet. The hardened nozzles are supposedly right around the corner. Like, they keep saying any day now. No, you're in Philly. Have you ever got a cheesesteak from Geno's? I have. Pat's and Geno's are touristy shit, but I did it when I was a kid. I'm vegan, so I don't eat that stuff anymore. But when I was a kid, I did. My personal favorite was Jim's on South Street, but it actually just burned down. I don't know if I haven't seen all the news yet, but it had a fire like this week. That was my favorite. All right, get these all tight. I've got titanium backers, but I think I need to wait to put the titanium backers on until later. Make a great teacher. Your ADHD kicked in. Yeah, that's part of my problem with making classes is my ADHD kicks in and I can't can't stay on task. So funny you say that, but here we are. Okay, I've got those two together. Yeah, I've got these titanium backers for these. They go on the opposite side of the rail to keep this from bowing one direction or the other under heat. But I'm going to wait to put those on, I think. All right, let's move on in the instructions. Boop, boop, boop. M5 T-nuts that go on the back side of these. Go in. So 4 on each of these. Where's the vase at? It's off on the side somewhere. It's been done for a while, so. Four more. This is actually going better than I thought it was going to go. Famous last words. Famous last words. This is going pretty well. Voron build continues. Yeah, the backers sound nice. You know, the theory of them sounds nice. So I kind of just said, yeah, I'm gonna do those. You know, why not? Okay, I need M5 T-nuts on this side as well. Looks like both facing this way. They're showing them anyway. That doesn't fit like that. Oh, the M5, the other M5. Huh. Oh, it's an M5 and an M3. That's why. An M5 and an M3. A little smaller. That makes sense. Nope, that still doesn't fit. Ha 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 ha. Haha. I might have to move this last screw one hole down. The problem I'm having is these backers here. Use a hammerhead, yeah. I'll either have to use a hammerhead or I could move this one down one hole over to here. I don't know. I feel like I should, if I'm going to use a hammerhead, I might as well use an M3 hammerhead and use the proper M5 roll-in. Let me grab hammerheads real quick. Yep. I got them here. A whole assortment of them. Might be on my workbench. I have a whole assortment of T-nuts. Somewhere here. Oh, here they are. Whole assortment of T-nuts. There we go. Alright, a couple of M3 ones. I think that's what we're going to do. Yeah. If I put the M3 and then the regular M5 roll in, that works. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. The M3 will be a hammerhead, and a T-nut will be if you don't ever print ABS, it's not worth it. What do you mean, the titanium backers? As my intention with this machine is to primarily print ASA, Glad I'm going with it then. Alright. Actually, the one side I can get away with using the T-nuts because it's not all the way to the end. Oh, yeah. I've seen some people say about just using another rail as a backer, but I'm going with the MGN 9s, and I also have the titanium backers, or I'm going with the MGN 12, and I have the titanium backers, so. Bloop. The one end I could put it in because it's not a hole in the last one. Alright, in you go. And in you go. So I had to use 2 hammerheads, T-nuts, and 2 regular. It's alright. Is what it is. Okay, moving forward. Now we get these assemblies go on the ends. Ah, here's where the M3 comes in. Okay. Is it supposed to hang off the end? Yeah, it is. Okay. With the hole up. No, this down. I think they just look nice. Yeah, I mean, that's part of why I got them, is they look nice. They look cool. And isn't that part of building a Voron? It just looks cool. That's part of building a Voron. It just looks cool. M5 by 16. Do I have this in there backwards? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I want these the other way. I think I put them in there backwards the way I wanted them. Get in there. Eh. All right. Yeah, I love streaming this, if nothing else, just for the help. Like, this is stuff I would easily figure out, or I would be bugging Mark in a private message about. But it's handy to have, like, second opinions and input. And why is this being dumb? Oh, it's just dumb. Like, that's really great. The best teachers are always the teachers who forget their teaching. That's not a bad... I like that. Okay. I'm going to get this off of here real quick. Woo! And reinsert these from the end. Ever considered an MMU from Prussia? I considered it. I've talked to people who have them and they've had plenty of problems with them. It doesn't seem like it's a refined enough system for my liking. And so I've just never bothered. Favorite printer you own? My Voron V0 currently. Hoping this will replace it. Should probably stream your Switchwire build. Yeah, you should. I'd be happy to check that out. Especially if you get to it before I build mine. Alright, M5 by 16. 5 by 16. Where do I go to watch the Cobra review when it is posted? YouTube. YouTube.com/MandicReally. The YouTube link is on my links page. And currently, if you want to see the stream in a different light, we are live on YouTube right now as well. All right, this is supposed to go through a couple of these belt clippers here. I haven't decided. Nah, I think this is going to be teal. I printed these in both teal and purple because I hadn't decided what color to go with yet. But I think we're going with teal. Do you enjoy building and putting together printers? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. There's the open source MMU, the Enraged Rabbit Carrot Feeder. Have all the hardware to get the printed parts. Yeah, that exists. Like, it's an offshoot of Voron. It's not from the Voron team, right? But it is. It's used often with the Voron setups. Neat setup. Again, same kind of thing where I was just like, I don't really feel like dealing with that. So I just haven't wanted to do it. I hoped the palette would be a little bit better as far as a multicolor print setup. It hasn't been. So there's that. But I don't like the way this is fitting in here. Let me find my M3 or a M3. Here we go. Hey, there's my missing M3. I just found it. Yay. So now I can use my electric screwdriver. Multicolor waste is definitely a thing. See, I swear every day I see you putting together a new printer. You're not entirely wrong about that, Tactiprints. I actually have 2 new printers to put together after this. My Elegoo Jupiter showed up, and then I have the BambuLabs X-1 should be arriving this week. So you are not wrong. Ah. Yeah, other than tool changers, no real way around it. Yeah, like I just did that interview with E3D. I just did that interview with E3D, and one of the things they asked me was like, what's your dream setup? What do you not have that you really want? And it was a tool changer. That was my answer. Now it looks like we're not getting the Prusa XL until next year. So, which I pretty much expected from the day I ordered it, that I wasn't getting it in 2022. Or pre-ordered it. And honestly, I'm kind of happy about. I know the X1 is really just going to be very straightforward, but that's kind of part of the fun of unboxing it, is we'll just get to play with it. And it might be nice to do a stream that isn't fucking 3 hours long. got my electric screwdriver as per your recommendation. It changed my life. Much less swearing in the house from dropping screws. Awesome. Love to hear that. All right, there's our first side together. Boop. I love that color combination. The waist isn't that bad. Did I see a BME shirt? I have numerous BME shirts. Yes, you have. The waist isn't that bad. I don't have the waist block here. The waist block for this weighed almost as much as this did. Like, waist blocks really, it varies how much they are, how much they suck. It can vary quite a bit. I want that one in there. I'll switch these around. Stay spooky! Thank you, Tactiprints! Filament stories. I'm not unhappy that the XL is delayed. Me too. Honestly, I was kind of dreading when I opened that email that they were going to say, okay, folks, we're going to start shipping any day now. Pay up. I was like, please no. I've spent way too much money lately. So I am not complaining that it's delayed a little bit. Yes, I want it. Yes, I want it sooner rather than later, but I was not entirely displeased. Architect Talk, welcome. All right. Second verse, same as the first, right? Yeah, second verse, same as the first. My favorite printable Ender mod. My favorite printable Ender mod is... I'm going to go this way. Am I upside down? Make sure I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm doing this right. Is the bed handle. I really like the bed handle. It's kind of hard for me to show you right now, but the printable bed handle I really like. It goes on the front 2 mounting screws for the front bed leveling screws, and it allows you to manipulate the bed and move the bed back and forth pretty easily without having to touch the hot bed. Just use at least PETG to print it, because I've used PLA and it lasted a while, but eventually it fails because of the heat. So I really like that one. And then my second favorite is my power supply cover that uses a 120 millimeter fan. I like that. I like that quite a bit. And then the Hero Me Gen 6 fan shroud. I'm really a fan of that too. That has upgraded part cooling and heatsink cooling. That's a whole tool head, print head design. I probably should have drilled these out, honestly. So these should move a little freer in this, but here we are. Architect talk. I am amazed I haven't bumped into you at some point. You're always in the neighborhood. Also, I just don't leave the house, so. Does the fan shroud need additional parts? It needs hardware, so nuts and bolts, screws. And to truly upgrade, you can use the stock part cooling fan with it, and it will be an upgrade. But to truly upgrade, you need 50-15 part cooling fans for a better cooling setup. So. Alright. Alright. That's together. Let's get this a little further apart here. Alright. That's looking better. Leave that a little loose. Loosey-goosey. Do I not want to put the hardware in the bottom side of this yet? Why not? Alright, whatever. Doesn't really matter. Okay. Now the back ones go toward the back here. These got to flip around. I feel like the instructions showed these the wrong way around. The roll-ins on here. Is the Cobra easy to assemble? Yes, it is. It's pretty easy assembly. The early Hero Me's were done in Tinkercad. I don't know what he's using now. I've talked to the designer a couple of times. Because a couple of the projects I've done, he had to produce one-offs for me. Like one-off design add-ons or whatever. Here's where I'm going to use my... I'm going to frickin' drill these out. This is getting annoying. Wrong side? Is it... That's the way the instructions show it. Oh, this is on the wrong side. Thank you. You're right. I wasn't looking at this end. I was only looking at this end. This is annoying me, so boom. This goes over here. This goes over here. Thank you. See? Catches my dumb mistakes. I would have had to put that together and take it back apart. Both doing printer stuff. Welcome, Chief. Yeah, I'm just building one like it's Legos. Okay. This goes here. Oh yeah, that's a lot nicer. I ran into a bunch of material shrinkage on these recent part prints. Been driving me a little nuts. I mean, in all fairness, Chief, I'm always doing printer stuff, so there's that. That's a 10. I don't need a 10, I need a 16. Oh, concrete added to your lack enclosure. Yeah, that'll wear you down a little bit. I had to move my... I put all your Z-rails on the wrong side. Hey, these things happen. All right. Great. Just dumped all those. Any good things you can print with your Ender 3? You can print all of my designs. You can print all of my designs. Mandic Really on thangs.com. Thangs.com/Mandic Really. Go print some of my designs. Oh, it's the best thing I got to recommend. Help me out. Pay the bills. Help me pay the bills. I got a couple of new designs coming out real soon, too. I just got to find a little time to work on updating them a little bit. We'll get there. Woo woo. All right. Now, you go here. There we go. All right, where I just put those 16s right here. COVID, yeah, running through a big production run will beat you up. I've been there before. It'll absolutely beat you up. And take a lot of the fun out of things. We all made the dumb mistakes. Yeah, I mean, hey, it's helpful to learn from your own mistakes or somebody else's, you know? Nothing wrong with learning from somebody else's mistakes, too. All right. Not like this tiny amount of thread lockers doing a lot, and these are going to have to get loosened up at some point, but hey. All right. I'm going to flush these up to the ends, as they're supposed to be. Boop, boop. It's not a Voron build if you don't have to undo and redo things. You are not wrong about that. Not wrong. All right, these ends. It's almost looking like a gantry. What's my website again? HotRodHippie.com, or well, for my designs, thangs.com/Mandic Really. If you go on my links page, the URL on my TikTok bio, I've got a link to it. Thangs. 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 Is that the one you just put together? This is a whole new one. And by the time you get it perfect, the moment you get it perfect, the Voron team releases an update. That also sounds correct. I didn't even get this built and they released an update, so... I've never used the Satsana duct. Nope. Never used it. All right. Now we got the parts that are going to the rails for the X gantry. Yeah, the X gantry. So I can set these a little aside for the moment. These, the bearing blocks. All right, M5 nuts for these. M5 nuts for these. This one's going a lot better than the V0, I'll tell you that. All right. I want some screws to push these down in there real quick. What materials do I print with normally? Mostly PLA. For most of my projects, PLA is all I need. I'm going to be moving to ASA a lot more with this machine because it'll be enclosed. And for more functional part stuff, but, you know, for like my big silly stuff, it's almost entirely PLA because it's easy. And for most things, it's perfectly fine. It's strong. PLA is stronger than people give it credit for, that's for sure. I used to use almost entirely PETG, and then I just stopped. When I started 3D printing, I only used PETG. So, I don't know. Not that weird to me. All right. Now, these pieces, which I actually need to sand these. See, this is part of the... Let me switch camera here. Can you see it there? Yeah, the top layer, top surface on this, the top infill was like over extruding just a little bit. So that's part of what I had to dial in with the Revos. Both my Prusa and my my Ender 3 with the Revo nozzles on it, hot ends, have both been like mildly over extruding. I'm actually at a 0.39 extrusion width now on top infill with those machines, just to get them even. Like, this is, I think this wasn't that yet, but yeah, I don't know why, just has been that way. But I'm going to sand it a little bit just to smooth that off a little. Yeah, that's better. Wait, you print parts for your printer? Yes. This printer uses a lot of printed parts. That's when everybody always says, oh, 3D print yourself a 3D printer. I've already done it once, I'm doing it again. It's actually entirely where hobbyist 3D printing comes from. I'm happy with the Mark III with the Moon Stepper. I mean, I really like the Revo in my Mark III. I put the Revo in my Mark III first because changing nozzle sizes is so easy, and it is so handy to do. It makes changing nozzle sizes almost like changing a slicer setting, and it just makes my life so much easier. Doing a big print down to a small print, it's just so handy. Favorite filament brand, Polymaker. Polymaker is my #1. What's the Revo do in comparison? Quick changing nozzles. Hold on a second. Yeah, there's no nozzle in this printer right now behind me. My Mark III. Nozzle is installed and tight in my Mark III right now. It's not hot. And about 15, 20 seconds. A little hard to do behind my back like this, but nozzle's out. Now I can swap from 0.4 to 0.6 or 0.8 or 0.25, and it just goes back in just as easy. So, yep, that's it. It makes nozzle size changes so easy. I was kind of rubbing my watch on the print bed a little bit. How's the build going? Well, so far so good. How does that affect calibration? You have to do a live Z adjust on the first layer, but honestly, I don't even go into the live Z I just do it when the print starts on the next nozzle size. It's generally only like a 0.2 or like a really small amount, 0.02, or like it's a small adjustment. I make a quick little adjustment to the live Z on the start of the print on the next nozzle, after changing nozzle, and it's fine. On my Ender 3, I just do a quick bed level, because that doesn't have auto leveling. So, but yes, back to 3 Zipped D. Polymaker is my favorite filament brand, because they have everything. I like their materials. Their ASA prints nicely. The ASA parts here are from them. I use their PLA. I haven't used their PETG at all. Haven't tried that. Greengate 3D, I really like their PETG. So yeah. Gotta go. All right. Thanks for being here. Catch you later. All right. All right. This piece I'm using, I need an M5 by 40. This is an M5 by 30. Had 40s out, didn't I? Thought I did. Oh, they're still in here. All right, M5 by 40 goes into... That's not the right hole. That hole. Wrong size. Is that tightened down all the way? Looks like it is. All right. With that in there, we got to do a bearing stack. Boy, they gave me just enough bearings. I thought this kit came with extras. It looks like maybe just enough shims, too. Careful in which hole you put it in. Yeah, that's an important thing. It's an important life lesson. An important life lesson. Whoop. All right. With that in place, this goes like... Nope, wrong hole. Did it again. Like this. Wow, that is a tight fit. That barely fits in there. All right. All right, that's in place. Yeah, now I put the other two screws in. I should have printed this all out of purple. I printed this in black and purple. See, that one fits in there a lot tighter. This hole needs to be cleared out, I think. One more of these. Fancy screwdriver. Honestly, it's a cheap electric screwdriver. I don't think it's available right now. It's been out of stock for quite a while, unfortunately. This thing was like 20, 25 bucks. Like, really killer price for it. I'm gonna loosen this up, see if I can't clear out this hole a little bit. There we go. That's better. What are the printed parts? The printed parts are all the movement and the guides and all the stuff that's important on this machine. Oh, here's a cog bearing. Yeah, one of these. This toothed idler. It would be technically possible to kit bash multiple printers together. Yeah, totally doable. That is a doable thing. People are not unheard of to do such things. A little weird, but doable. This goes into plastic yet again. All right. Yeah, that's totally doable. People are known to take like parts of the Voron like design and apply them to other printers. It's not unheard of. This kind of just floats in here without any shim washers. Okay. Oh, you know what? Let me check. I think... Are these my... I can't remember if these are... No, these are not. I had two sets of these. Ones I printed previously and the ones I just printed. And this is the ones that I just printed. So these are the R2. Yes, I got the Ender Extender. It came in. Thank you very much. And then Slice Engineering actually reached out about sponsoring, or well, yeah, about something. So I might end up using that in a project with like a Slice hot end. I haven't decided. So, but thank you. Thank you very much. I did receive it safe and sound. I got to figure out what I'm going to do with that project, but thank you. It doesn't seem like that's getting as tight as I want it to be. Anycubic Suron, can't get it working as... Oh, seemed like I might have killed the battery on this. Womp, womp. Any tips on it? Not really. I've never used a Suron to say, sorry. Nah. I'll throw this battery in the charger real quick. Ender extender. Yes, a viewer, random guy NC on TikTok sent me an Ender extender kit. It's a kit to turn a regular Ender 3 into a 400 by 400 millimeter build volume machine. So, handy setup, neat setup. We will play with at some point. So, yeah, sorry, I don't really have much. Yeah, my problem is it seems like this should be flush here, and it's not. That's where my problem is. It feels like this hole is like tapered or something, and it's being a problem. Maybe I'm wrong. What big printer do you suggest? At the moment, the Cobra Max is my go-to recommendation for a big printer. Yeah, honestly, the Ender extender, for the most part, I generally wouldn't recommend somebody do it because it, let me check this. Yeah, see, this should totally sink down in here, but it's not. $28 by $28 upgrade for the Cobra? That sounds kind of ridiculous. Yeah, there we go. I just had to clear the hole out a little bit. Now it's fitting in there. Just had to clear it out a little bit. That's what I was looking for. Now it's in there. Okay. Second verse, same as the first. This actually kind of goes the other way. Weird. Okay. This one's a little weird. Seems. Got a CR10 with a 500 by 500. Rad. I can't justify... Like, the Cobra Max already takes up so much freaking room in my studio. Having a big printer just takes up so much space. But it is cool. Hence the Ender extender sat around. It'll make sense during belting. Okay. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Shim time. And now this piece goes like this. Yes, like this. Together you go. Come on. Tight threading. Thread this down on here. Yeah, that's working. Nope, now it's not. All right. Why does that not seem right? I just threaded that in the wrong spot. No. That's where they wanted it. Oh, I see why. I was floating off into space there. I screwed up, but I'm all right. I screwed it up, but I'm all right. Okay, 2 more of these. Right, I really wish I had my electric screwdriver right now. It's one of the I need to buy extra batteries for that thing so I can just swap batteries out in it. It's a simple, like, nothing special lithium battery. This is the stuff that's hard on my wrist, though. This is the stuff that's hard on my wrist. At this rate, I'm gonna get this gantry together today. I wasn't I had hoped that would happen, but I didn't actually expect it to. So I'm pumped. It means I'm probably gonna have to end up working on this off stream. Definitely when it comes to wiring. Wiring's just too much because I'm building my own custom harness, not using a kit. That's just way too much time and energy to stream. So, but maybe I'll do another stream soon of putting the Stealthburner together. Maybe. Not sure. Okay. That's together. Alright, together. Together. Tight. And now the last one is the geared pulley, the tooth pulley that goes into this opening right here with another M40 that screws into plastic. M5 by 40. That's screwed into plastic. This one is not into open air. This has an actual shoulder. Would I still recommend the Ender 5, the Cobra Max? I'm halfway through filming my Cobra Max review. So if you can wait a minute, maybe a week. Might be next Saturday till I get it up. I have a full updated review of the Cobra Max with all of my thoughts on it. I'm getting a little tired now, so it's a little hard for me to articulate all of my thoughts. I like the Cobra Max. It's probably my go-to recommendation for a large, like entry-level large printer. But it has issues, and I will discuss them in the review. So it's about the best I can say right now. Got to rewire your stealth now with the Stealthburners. Yeah, no, wiring, like especially custom wiring it the way I am, it's just going to take too much mental energy to get a clean job. It'll be way better if I just put something on TV and I just sit here and wire by wire build it. I can't really do a stream for wiring, unfortunately. Not the way I do it. That was a hard part I had with cars too. When I was doing car content, people always wanted like a wiring guide from me or like to help them learn wiring. And it's hard because I just get into a zone and that's how I do wiring. So it's hard to teach. All right, here's our gantry. We need our MGN 12 rail. Now these two idler ends for this are done. And my MGN 12 rail for the Stealthburner. Bearing block might pull off of there. Careful. I wasn't able to get an LDO rail for the X-axis for the MGN 12. When I ordered rails, everybody was out of stock. Oh, come on. I swear rails always come in the worst packaging. Alright. Yeah, I don't even know who makes this rail. All I know is it's stainless. Oh yeah, the other end's frickin' retainer broke. I gotta be careful here. It's tight. It's got tight preload on it. Not like tight, like smooth tight. I like that. Okay. Let me count out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one actually needs 8. Let's use still M3s. Okay. Yeah, I specialized in automotive wiring, but I get into the zone and that's how I do it. And it's really hard to explain. I've tried to do a couple videos about like I custom built the wiring harness for the LS engine that's in my dad's 65 GMC. And I tried filming a video about it. Like I built it wire by wire and it was just too much. It was too much to make a video about and like really explain. my hat's off to people who can do it. There are people out there who can do really good jobs with that, like what's that, HP something or other on YouTube, teaches like engine and wiring stuff. I forget their channel name. I follow them, but I don't really watch their stuff. All right, line these up. Uh-oh, I just remembered a problem. I don't think I have any MGN 12 rail guides set up right now. That's probably not a problem. All right. Cool. These. I don't think I have any of these. Where'd you get your linear rails? I don't remember. I didn't think I'd make it this far, so I didn't print the MGN 12 ones of these yet. I don't remember where I got my rails from, honestly, because everybody was out of stock when I was ordering rails. I wanted stainless steel rails, not mild steel ones. Or plain steel ones, carbon steel. And so I forget where I got them from. It was months ago. "3D Maker Parts," I think, is where I got the MGN 12 from. But I think I got the MGN 9s either from Printed Solid or Fabrico. Those are LDOs. The MGN 9s on my build are all LDO. This, I legitimately have no idea who makes this one. It was what I was able to get, is pretty much what it is. M3x8s. More M3x8s. How's it going? It is going. Pretty good, actually. Surprisingly good. So anyway, I'm just going to put the screws in here. I will reprint. I'll print the parts I need after the stream and then just line these up after. I'm not going to tighten them right now, effectively. Did I screw that up? I put one extra in here. Put one more than I needed in here, it looks like. I'm just going to use it. Why not? It's adding a little weight to my gantry, but who cares? So right in the middle, there's going to be an extra one. I want to, at some point, build a V0 and a 2.4. Any recommendations on parts or the process? Buy a kit. Buy an LDO kit, probably. I self-sourced both of mine, and I absolutely spent too much money doing that. I would have been better off buying an LDO kit and then just buying a few parts that I wanted versus the kit. Like, you know, buying the hot end I wanted or whatever. Like, just replacing the one or two parts that I really wanted to replace. I'd have been better off doing that. Best recommendation I got. So, I'm happy I self-sourced, but it was a way bigger project self-sourcing than just buying a damn kit. All right. Get in there. All right. Cool. Like I said, I'm going to leave those loose for right now until I print the guides for them so I can get them properly centered. Well, I'm going to tighten them down just to get them in the proper position, side to side, and then I will... There's a daycare behind my... Yeah, self-sourcing is a project in its own. That is a very good point. That's effectively what it turned into. It turned into two projects. A sourcing project and then a building project. These are supposed to be 15 millimeters from each end. They're kind of a little more than 15 millimeters. This looks like this rail is This extrusion is like a millimeter too long. Yeah, I really wish I would have done that. Just self-source, like, because the sourcing isn't fun. Building is fun. Sourcing, not so much. I'm happy that I know of all these companies now I can buy stuff from, but whoop-de-doo. All right. We put T-nuts in the top and bottom. 2 in the top, 1 in the bottom. All M5s. Nope, wrong way. 2 in the top. And 1 in the bottom. All right. Now we're going to install the ends. Yes. Now we install the ends. Oh, I guess it's actually the bottom? No, it's the top. Yeah. So I'm going to have purple on the top. Cool. I'm good with that. That's pretty good. All right. No, I want this the other way. Should be toward the rail side. Of course, it should be toward the rail side because that's the side with the belt side on it. Well, that's a tight fit. I probably should have left these a little loose. Oh well. Oh well. Oh well. Okay, now I can put in M5x10s on one side, on this side, and M5x16s with the cable guide on the other side. These are 10s, right? Yeah, M5x10s. Seems short. These seem short. Yeah, they're good. Okay. It's almost like they knew what they're doing. I question sometimes. Who has a good kit and what's a good high flow hot end? LDO kits are good from what I've heard. LDO kits seem to be pretty much the best. Fabrico, F-A-B-R-E-E-K-O, and Printed Solid both sell LDO kits that I'm aware of. And M5x30 in the bottom. Yeah, so that's the best I got. I would look at an high flow hot end. I'm running a Phaetus Rapido is what I'm going to be putting in this. Can't say whether it's great or not yet. Don't know. We'll find out eventually. So yeah. It's meant to be a seriously high flow hot end, so time will tell whether it is or not. Otherwise, there's the Phaetus Dragon high flow, which is what I have in my Voron V0. Meant to be a high flow hot end, so I've pushed my standard flow Dragon to about 20 millimeters a second, cubic millimeters a second, and I haven't pushed my high flow variant. Now that I've upgraded it to the high flow, I haven't pushed that yet to say. All right, that side's together-ish, not tight. Now this side. Come on. Tight fit, tight fit. All right. Okay. Now this side I need a pair of 16s. Did I put the 16s somewhere? I had them. And 5x16s. Oh, here they are. Yeah, I've heard great things. Sorry for all the questions. Nothing wrong with all the questions. It's part of a live stream. Interacting. Otherwise, I'd be sitting here talking to myself. Fine by me. But yeah, I've heard great things about the Rapido. That's what I'm going to try. We'll find out. I don't know. I actually saw CNC Kitchen. Stefan posted today a video on YouTube where he used the Rapido and parts from it for a project. So, ABS or ASA? I like ASA. Yes, there is the Voron Discord with reviews, and you can ask questions in there too. I used ASA for my V0 and my 2.4, so I don't really have much more to say on that than that's what I used. There's a little split in this, but it's just the cable guide. I'm not too worried about that. It's not actually at the hole. It's a layer separation from the print. So, is what it is. I don't think you're going to be able to see it. It's like right there. You can kind of see it on the camera. Boop. I've been using a little bit of polycarbonate as well for some of my parts. The Stealthburner parts, I use polycarbonate. A little bit. Ooh, yeah. Split a little worse now that I tightened it. Oh, well. But let's change this out. Go together. Go together. I'm really glad that I printed. I didn't even plan on this part being purple. I just wanted to print the part while I was using the only spool of black I had at the time. So I printed this top part in purple. I printed this top part in purple, and now that this cable guide's on there with the purple and the teal right next to each other, love it. Love it. Love the camera angles. Yeah, I keep feeling like I need a closer angle. Whoop. Like, I don't know. It's hard to balance camera angles, but I try. It's also hard to focus the depth that I need and all that. So, but thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. Oh, these get an M5 shim on here? I should have had a shim under that. Okay. Guess I should have had a shim under this. Probably not tightening down enough without the shim. I'm getting kind of loopy. If the good part about printed parts, if you mess up, you just print another one. You are correct. I've had to do that plenty. And especially that one. Like, if this part ends up being weak, that's a really simple one to replace, you know? So, not too worried about that. The cable chain mount, that is. At least until I get it fully wired. You know, I can decide plenty of time between here and there whether or not I want to replace it. All right. Alright, I'm going to leave this just a little loose for the moment. I want all these a little loose so I can adjust this as I need. Alright. Do you think a build kit from AliExpress is safe? I would not risk it. I wouldn't risk it. I mean, check the Voron Discord for what people are saying. But I wouldn't mess with that. Granted, my extrusions came from, wait, no. I'm using LDO extrusions this time. My V0, the extrusions that I used on my V0 came from AliExpress, and they were fine. There's like a weird difference about them that made them actually both easier and more difficult to use. It's hard to explain. They like went outside the guidelines of the design a little bit, and it kind of made it a little difficult, but also made it better in some ways. So hard to say. These are LDO extrusions that I'm using here. I got from Printed Solid. Okay, check your work. I should have pulley. Cool. Now it is time to flip this over and get this installed onto the rails for the Y-axis. BondTech, all going well today. Thank you very much. So far, so good. Had a few hiccups here and there, but nothing major. And thankfully, Stream was here to save me from myself, so I can't complain. Alright, I'm going to clean up a little bit of these. Thank you for all your help. Thank you for chatting. Thank you for being here. Oh, I just put some M5s in with the M3s. Ah, shit. I'll regret that later. Okay, these go in this bag. Alright, I don't know where this piece goes yet. Set these aside, this aside. I just want to clean things out so I have a good frame of mind for moving forward here. These, I'm going to put these here for now. Oh, hey. And just keep track of all my hardware. Boom. Installing your ducts on the Viper now. Awesome. Hope they work out well for you. Let me know how they fit. I had one person say they had a fitment issue on a Viper, but I've had multiple people install them on Vipers that haven't, so. Prosit. Thank you. I am assuming that's because that's the sneezing. So, yeah. What are a couple of your favorite printers? My favorite printer is my Voron V0. My second favorite printer currently is my Ender 3. Realistically, I really like my Ender 3. I'm happy with it. I've got it to a point where it runs great, and I like it. So, boop, boop. All right. Had to angle that in there. Okay, so only 2 bolts on this side, because the end stop needs the bolts then. And the other side, we got 2 more bolts. So all M3 by 16. Let's find our M3 by 16s. M3 by 20, 12. M3 by 16. Mine fit great. Awesome. Love to hear it. Let's go to overhead angle. All right. Oh yeah, this got to get tightened. This got to get squished in more. This is too wide. That's why I left those loose, so I could do that. Currently too wide. That's better. Where I just put the one I had Loctite. There we go. All right, first screw in. I'm hungry. My stomach's grumbling. About time to call us. I'm running out of Loctite too. 2 projects in on this Loctite. Is dual cooling fans on an Ender 3 worth doing? If you're printing PLA, mostly PLA, yes, it is worth doing. I run twin 5015s on my favorite Ender 3, and it is great for printing PLA like that. I'm building just 24 volt, Josh. Just 24 volt. I'm not looking to set any speed records. I do have an Octopus Pro board, so I could run 48 volt, but I don't need to. I just want a reliable printer that that runs well. So I got cat hair. It's my life. Cat hair everywhere. But yeah, no, I'm running 24 volt. I'm going to run 24 volt on this build. I got LDO motors. They're only the 0.9. They're the 0.9 motors, which is what came in the kit from Printed Solid. I don't know. Is that what most people run on their 2.4s? 0.9 motors? I would have thought 0.8 or 1.8s would make more sense, but especially for a larger build volume. Matt Prince, bed spring recommendation for an Ender 3. I actually just posted a video like yesterday about what I do with that. I don't replace bed springs. I just move the Z limit switch down and preload them. Bomb or 1.8? Okay. This LDO kit came with 0.9s. That's weird. The motor kit is an LDO motor kit. So I got a whole LDO motor kit from Printed Solid. You have these motors and they've been great. Okay. Every Voron is slightly different. Yeah, and things change all the time, and then companies change the way what they put in. So like there's all kinds of things that could be. Okay. I just put this all together backwards, didn't I? I did. Chat, you didn't save me from myself. The linear rail on the... So, filament story, we have reached the point of the build where it is officially a Voron build, because I got to take it back apart. Yeah, the linear rail should be on the front side, not on the back side. Dough. Dough. Okay, let's switch this around. That's a little better. I just glanced at it and I'm like, something doesn't look right here. Boop. Have you yet to order anything from Printed Solid? You know, I really like dealing with Printed Solid for the most part. Their prices are always not always the best, but they ship so quick, and they're in Delaware, so they're right around the corner from me. They're only like half hour, 45 minutes away. Love Core XY. It's always super easy, fun builds. Yeah. Yeah, so they're really pretty close to me, so I get stuff from them really quickly. I love that. Oh yeah, we got the most people here in the TikTok chat right now, right when I screwed up. Awesome. Welcome, folks. Welcome. If you want a second printer bigger than your Ender 3 V2, do you like your Ender 3 V2? If so, my recommendation would be the Ender 3 Max. you're going to gain build volume with it, and it'll be a machine you're pretty familiar with. And also parts will interchange between the two. So that's generally my recommendation for a bigger printer if you're okay with, I think it's only 300 by 300 build volume. So it's bigger, but not by a lot. All right, pretty good and smooth. All right. All right, next step is to start belting and putting it into the frame, which I am not going to do in this stream. I am hungry and I need to go eat and get to other stuff. So we got more done in this stream than I expected to do. We got the full X and Y gantry rough assembled. You know, not a hot end yet or any of that, but, you know, we got X-axis, Y-axis, larger volume printer. If you want a really bigger volume, my recommendation is probably the Cobra Max. I have my issues with the Cobra Max, but it's probably the Cobra Max. I will have my review out on that soon, so you can check it out, but yeah. Usually find big bed slingers are problematic. I'm not going to say problematic, but slow. You just got to go slow with a big bed slinger. That's all there is to it. Yeah, that machine is not fast unless you use a large nozzle. That's all there is to it. And there's definitely some print artifacts from larger prints and whatever, but personal opinion, when you're printing large, you shouldn't be expecting super quality anyway, unless you want to spend weeks printing things, and So I think that's going to wrap it up for this one, folks. Let's see, we're like, what? Just over 2.5 hours. 2 hours and 40 minutes. So, yeah, we've got a functional Y and X axis, motors mounted. Now it's time for me to get this into the machine and get belting it and then build my Stealthburner, I do believe. But I think I'm going to probably end up doing that stuff off stream. I haven't decided yet. I will figure that out a little further on in the project, but let's just go. Yeah. So, all right, folks. I think that's going to wrap it up for this. I appreciate everybody being here. Thank you for it. Is the Ender 5 Plus a good machine, or does it take a lot of work and upgrades? In my opinion, it takes a lot of work and upgrades to get a good print. Make it a good printer. I don't recommend the Ender 5 Plus because I feel like there's a lot of outdated tech there. They really need to give it a really good refresh, and I don't see them doing it. It's got an old 8-bit board on it. It's got a huge Buiding tube setup that leads to a lot of retraction and linear advance type issues, which you can't even run linear advance on the 8-bit board. I don't recommend the Ender 5 Plus unless you're willing to heavily upgrade it, which I generally don't encourage people to do because it's a slippery slope and easy for people to screw up. So, yeah. That's that. That's why I kind of, at the moment, am leaning toward the Cobra Max for my review of or my opinion on a larger scale printer. So, all right, folks, I got a jet. I got to go eat something. There it is. We've got a gantry system. So, farther than I expected to make it in a stream. I'm happy, especially in only 2.5 hours. So, yeah, I think I'm at like 7 hours into this build now. Not too bad. Not too bad. So, all right, especially for streaming it, you know, that definitely takes some time. Granted, I'd probably make mistakes without streaming, so I don't know. Maybe it's similar. Who knows? All right, folks, I'm going to jet. Thank you all for being here. Thanks, everybody, for checking this out, hanging out with me, helping me avoid the problems here and there. I appreciate it. Check out the latest YouTube videos. I got the review of the YouTube on YouTube, the Cobra Max, coming very soon. I've got some custom Frankenstein 3D printer project builds that I haven't even shown you yet coming soon on YouTube. And yeah, folks on TikTok, if you haven't checked it out, youtube.com/MandicReally. That's where a lot more content's going to be in the future versus TikTok. I'm not going to stop TikTok, but I need to focus on YouTube more. So there's also a link on my link tree and all that you can find on TikTok. So thank you all for being here, everybody. I appreciate it. I will catch you all in the next one. Probably the next stream will be maybe unboxing basically the Carbon X1. I think I'm not going to do an unboxing of the Elegoo Jupiter because it's just too time intensive or too big of a machine. And again, it's not that interesting. It's interesting, but I'll do some videos about that. All right, folks, I will catch you all in the next one. Thank you all for being here, and I shall see you later on.